That's why, you know, when Salomon Brothers went down, they paid him the guy, Lehman Brothers went down, he paid himself a $567 million bonus for running the company into the ground. Fault, F-A-U-L-D. So these CEOs, they are not good custodian of the asset called the public company. And that's what our business schools, and Bucky called Harvard, J.P. Morgan School of Accounting, and he called University of Chicago, John D. Rockefeller School of Monopolistic Practices. They train these MBAs how to rip the company apart, take its wealth out of it. That's how these guys at Lehman Brothers and AIG, they don't know they're doing the wrong thing. They're doing what they're taught to do. Whereas an entrepreneur will protect the company. Does that make sense, you guys here? So what Bogle said was that when you look at a mutual fund, you put up 100% of the risk, 100% of the money, take 100% of the risk, but the company takes 80% of your wealth. And then you pay tax on it. And you're taxed at the highest rate. The other point here is this, savings, you can ask Tom, you're taxed at the highest rate. So that's why when you get my DVD, The Sacred Cows, it's basically dumbing this thing down so the average person can understand it. But you have to understand how they take your money. Am I clear, you guys here? Okay, and it's done through cash flows. So you work harder because you need to make more money, you pay more tax, you get deeper in debt because they say your house is an asset. You pay higher, you assume you're going to pay higher gas prices, food prices, energy costs. And then you have the retirement, and they're all stealing your money. On top of that, when it hits your asset column as an E or an S, you're paying the highest tax on it on top of it. That's the cash heist. It's via your stupidity, your lack of financial education, your lack of awareness. And you're turning it over to people who have not been trained, according to Bogle, to protect the asset, the public company. That's why an entrepreneur, what you're asking me, an entrepreneur will fight harder. Because it's your time, your money, your risk. If you're an employee, you don't give a shit, you just walk away. But an entrepreneur, you know, when I started my company, I was $1 million in the hole. I had to pay it back. You think these guys, the guy, the head of Lehman Brothers, is going to pay that money back? No, he pays himself a bonus. That's unconscionable. The taxpayers pay it and the stockholders pay it. Am I making any sense yet? Is it sinking in yet? That's why to go to school to get a job or be an accountant attorney is the way it starts. And you can't see it until you see the diagram here. E's and S's, B's and I's. That's where it starts. I'll get to your question in a little while. I just want you to understand how it starts. So take 1 minute, discuss. I want you to understand it, because otherwise you'll just run off and buy a house, because it's an asset. Ready, go. And so your decision will be whether or not you want to remain on the E and the S side or shift to the B and the I side. You know, when I asked earlier, I said, how many people know people who are flipping houses? Between, you know, how many, raise your hand. How many people know people who are poorer today? How many people know people that can't be here because they still have a job? How many people know that as they're working harder, the government's still ripping taxes out of them? How many people realize that your mortgage is still ripping money out of your back pocket? You know what I mean? It's the cash heist. That's what I understood. That's why my rich dad was, oh, that's what he's saying to me. Got it. When I read this book. So I'm not anti-school or education. I'm against ignorance. If you told kids this is how the government steals from you, the bank steals from you, inflation steals from you, and your 401k steals from you, you might think differently. But Gene Chatsky and Susie Orman, go to school, get a job, save money, put in 401k, save, 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 save. How many people have heard them say that? Okay. The other thing, too, is between you, as Fuller said, I don't need a priest between me and God. That was his thing. You also don't need a financial planner between you and your money. that make sense to you? Am I making sense? Yes. Okay, take one more minute to discuss this. You have to understand this. This is the cash heist, and even if it hits you in the asset column, they're still screwing you via taxes. Please discuss that.